Teaquilters. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, and we're here with live sewing chat. It's from 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We probably will be here a little bit longer because I do want to read a little bit of the chats just to see who's here, get other people that are on notifications a chance to come in and get notifications, get notified that I'm live. And yeah. Hold on, let me get this chat pulled up so I can stop it because I don't want to play it on my phone. So yeah, the disclaimer that's up at the top, I see a few comments in my chat sometimes about Fabric Anonymous and all of that kind of stuff. Don't worry about me. Everything that I pay for, I can afford. I won't be putting up a video next month asking you to help me pay for my purchases. So just know that anything that I buy, I can afford. I don't buy anything that I can't afford. My bills are paid. I'm not in debt. I don't pay interest on anything in my house. So just know that anything that I'm bringing in is what I can afford. So don't worry about that part. We're just here to have fun. We're doing a haul. I'm not encouraging anybody to do what I do. Just want to get that clear up front. So just so we got all that covered. Let's see who's here. Vivian Calvi, Joe Carmel Perkins, Delia Short, Katie's Crafts, Maddie Barnum is here, Susan T, and Katie is trimming blocks and waiting for the big haul reveal. Betsy says, ooh, I want to see. Happy Wednesday to all. Hey, Betsy. Beverly Akins is here. Teresa McCormick. Guess who? Nancy. Vicki Bournes. Mona did what? Kevin the Quilter. Sandy Agger. Helena Carter. Trying to remember the names that I've already said. Oh, Sandy says, I'm not in recovery and I'm not going to join one. Tomorrow, Pacific International Quilt Festival starts. And she's going all 4 days. So that's pretty cool. So have fun with that. I love that. Shirley Peters is here. Phyllis G. Seajoy Creations. Yes, girl, I got in my house about 6:15. So I haven't sorted anything. I'm just going to go what's in the bags. I do have my bags sorted by day, but they're not sorted in order of how I went. So we're just going to go forward and see how this goes today. Shirley Kessinger is here. I'm actually not tired. I was tired in the car yesterday and I didn't sleep at all last night. Hardly. And I'm back on my regular routine. So I actually feel great right now, which is weird. And I didn't take one nap today. The night before, I slept really good. Slept from like 11:15-ish until we got up about 8 o'clock, 7, 8. I can't remember what time we got up the first day. And I slept really good, slept long hours. Got in the car about 11 o'clock. I was like so tired I had to take a nap. So I took a nap for about an hour while it was an hour ride from one quilt shop to the next. I took a nap and then I was fine the rest of the day. Couldn't sleep last night. I feel great. I'm back on my schedule, I guess. So I'm doing really good. Yo, Patty G is here. Welcome to the channel as well. If anybody new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up and come on back in. I'm just reading a few names. You won't miss a thing. Deborah Sims Brown's here. Melina Montoya. So Terry. Sewing with LaWayne. Yes, I made it home just in time. Sewing with LaWayne. Laura Austin's here. Wash Your Hands is here. Like So Like That is here. Hello and welcome as well. Erling Butler's here. Carrie Richard. And I think I've got everybody. So remember last week when I did my haul for the other 2 days that we did last Monday and Tuesday. I told you that some of the shops did not have items that we wanted. And also, let me back up and say that this week we were gone Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we did not plan this until Sunday. And so I did not have a whole lot of time. I got out my orders. So any orders or any inquiries about orders, they'll be starting to get handled tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them. And I probably have an appointment on Friday that I'm going to have to go to as well. So I probably am going to be out on Friday as well. I have Sewing with Kevin on Saturday. So this has not been like an in-office type of work week. So it's kind of like I'm here doing stuff with Teaquilts, but I'm not actually able to get out a whole lot of orders or communicate a whole lot with people. So just keep that in mind if you've sent me emails and I haven't responded. It's going to be a little minute before I can get to everything. Okay, so last Tuesday and Wednesday, I told you all about we had shops that were out of the actual blocks. And so I have some of those have been mailed to me. And let's open these up. I thought I had another one. Maybe I don't. Okay, some of them just had to mail us the block. And then other ones needed to mail us the actual like when I say block, I'm talking about the thing that they did for their store. Each store, you get a sticker for visiting that goes on your passport. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you also get a fabric block that's created by each shop. And so when Kevin and I were in the shops together, we just put it on one envelope and said ×2. So one is mine and one is for Kevin. And this one that came in is so creative. From Salisbury, Missouri. It says, friendship is sown with love and measured by kindness. Now that's really neat especially since Kevin and I are going on this road trip together. So that's a really neat one to do. So I have mine and I have Kevin's. For right now, I'm just going to put these both back in the envelope. And we are going to deal with that later. I'll sort that out. And I think I'm going to put it up here on my rulers. And then this one here has ×2. So I must have from Kevin as well. And I think we got the stamp for this shop. And we just needed the block. It says Abby's Quilt Shop. And I do remember her. She was a new young quilt shop owner. Had only been open a year or so, maybe a year and a half. She opened after COVID. And it says, gather the threads of your life and stitch them into joy. And this shop was in Centralia, Missouri. So just like for you all to see that, they're handing these out. And they do this on all of the state shop hops that you attend. Got, again, one for me and one for Kevin. And I am going to put this aside because it goes with our previous days. And then this one was the shop Fabric Chateau in Brookfield, Missouri, where we went and they were supposed to be open and she had a sign outside her door and we signed the door and I got my sticker and I think I wrote down Kevin's information so she could just send it straight to him because we didn't want any trouble. So we got the sticker that goes into the book and I'll show you that in a minute, just to keep everybody up to date. But what was really nice is she got my name on this note. So she put everybody's name that has signed her list when she was out. She says, dear Miss Mahone, I'm so sorry to have missed you this week in my store. Next time you're in the area, please stop by and receive 20% off your next purchase of $40 or more with this coupon. And she signed it, Mercy, Laura Carr, owner. So that was really nice of her to do that. You don't have to have a personal note. It was nice that she left the information out for us to be able to sign, and then for us to come back home and they're here. So that was really nice, because I'm thinking that people are going to forget about us. You know, got a long list of things to do, and here they are, got to mail these things out. Her block says quilting friends make best friends. Another one that's appropriate that we didn't get on the hop. So that's really cool too. So yes. Thank you, thank you. So I appreciate these 3 companies sending this information out so that we can get caught up with, you know, things that we were missing from last month. I'm just going to show you my passport. Let me see. I guess I could do a quick count. Okay, we got 44 stickers when I add that one in. And there are 70 shops in the St. Louis area. So this is what my passport is looking like now. And we had one shop in the Northwest region that the Northwest region had shops that some of them were only open on Monday, and we just did that this week. Some of them were only open on Tuesday. So we bounced back and forth around this thing. We made a schedule for those that were open on Monday. So we're now down here after we've already been up here. And then on Tuesday, we go back up and get the ones that we missed. And then we had this one shop, We So Crazy, which I would have loved to gone in and met the people there with the shop of that name. And they only open, they start on Wednesday. Well, there was no way that we could stay in that region any longer than we stayed. We had already done 2 days in that region, and we were trying to get into the next region. So we took pictures outside of her shop. So we're going to have to see if that will work for us to get they have a block for the region. So if you finish an entire region, they will then also send you a block for that region that you can also put into your quilt. So we're hoping that we can get that region block. So we haven't done anything in the South region, and we're, you know, it was a lot. We were trying to do this, and then with Kevin's schedule, my schedule with me, I was not feeling great for about a few days. I had a real bad sinus infection on the days that we had planned to go out, so we had to cancel that. And so part of it is I wasn't feeling good. Part of it is Kevin's work schedule. And, you know, he's got a little new puppy. So now that's the next problem, you know, trying to do a whole lot of days with the new puppy. And it's taking more days than we thought. We done 6 days of this shop hop so far. And it's a lot of shops to do, 70 shops. So we're trying to at least do all of the Northwest region, West Central region, Northeast region, and East Central region. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do the Southern region. It's just a lot to do. And so we're trying to figure all of that out, how that's going to happen. So we'll see. But I did want to share that with you. And these regions are kind of all messed up. So I don't even know if I can bounce around this book and, you know, trying to look at all these maps to see where we went to. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be in order. I'm just going to go by receipts. There are going to be a couple of times where I don't have any receipts because I didn't buy anything, but Kevin bought something. So I'm just going to pull out from day one. My bag is in reverse order. I already know that. And then some things could have slid down to the bottom as far as I know. So let me make sure before I get started, because I'm not going to be able to read these comments and see who else has come in, just so I can give you a quick shout out. Melissa LePage is here. Bonita Nance, Ingrid Bowers, Doris O, Leetta Bryant, Lenora Baptiste, the Debt Free Quilter, Erica Taylor. So welcome everybody. Somebody asked a question. That was a good question. How long does it take to get to all the shops? This shop hop started in September. It started September 1 and ended October 31st. So we still got a few days, but when you got to go, Missouri is like 5 hours wide, and I'm just going to guess on the height and say I've never driven from top to bottom. I've driven from one end to the next. So it's about 5 hours wide in the center. And then at the top and bottom, I'm just going to guess and say it's about maybe 8 or 9 inches from top to bottom. That's a lot of driving and a lot of hours. Missouri is a wide, tall state, so it's kind of weird. It's hard to get through. Hi, Shaquita and Teresa Louise. I quilt too. So, we have 2 months. Some states may only have 30 days, depending on how much mileage is in your state. They may decide that you do it in a shorter period of time. So it just depends. So again, this is not going to be in order. This is just how I'm pulling this stuff out the bag. So we went to Bowland's Fabric. We've got you covered. Wide backing. So that was the specialty there, was their wide backs. And that's, of course, the first thing they wanted to talk to us about when we came in. And I've been trying to keep the, I guess I'll just put them, I hope that they don't get blown around this room. I'll try to figure out. I've been trying to pull those out so I can put them all in one spot. So without us asking, we've got a business card in our bag. They also gave us an information sheet about what their shop is about, their hours, because sometimes the stores are open for different hours. A lot of these shops were in homes. So we were driving into neighborhoods on Backcountry Road, but don't discount the shops that are attached to a home. This one was attached to a home. It was beautiful. She like used a garage area, but you would have never known that it was a garage. She actually finished all the walls, finished the ceiling, and the garage doors they left in case she ever wants to sell the place. They can just take the windows out in the garage doors. It was amazing how they worked around the garage doors, and then she could go back down. But they do have windows where the garage doors would be, and they built like a wall. But they and she did it in a short period of time because she just moved back to Missouri from she was living in Missouri, left to go do something, and then she came back. And then it was funny because she found out that I was saying how I like eyes. I saw a piece of fabric that had eyes, and so she gave me all of these little different size eyes. She said she had a lady that no, a husband, the wife had passed, and so he had her giving out all of her, distributing all of her stuff to charities. And she said she just didn't know what to do with these eyes, and she had just been holding on to them. And then here I come, and of course I can use these in scrapbooking. So that was just a gift. She had a sale on her fabric. I wrote it on the back. One was $6.72 per yard. One was $6.41 per yard. I can't remember what that was off, if it was 40% off or what. But I just bought a couple of yards of fabric. This one here is 1.5 yards. Maybe it was I bought a little bit more of this one. Maybe I really liked it. And it's weird. It's Eddie's by Oasis Fabric, design 59-479. I've never heard of this company, but the fabric feel is very soft. And again, going into shops, I do like what I buy, but I'm just buying something to support like a museum ticket. So I bought that because it was on sale. And I try to look at their sale fabrics first. And then this one says it's 1.5 yards too. And so let's see what brand of fabric this is. This is leather by Fabric Quilt. They normally, Fabric Quilt. And then it's pattern number 112-2643. And this is the color here. Just put this up here for you. And it's a pretty color, and you'll see later in the bag why I got this color. I got it hoping that it will work with something else that I bought, although I did not match them. I did not take the other fabric in to see if I can match it. I just said, oh, I wonder if that'll work. So we're going to put this back into the bag just so that it's all together for right now. Receipt and everything's in there. Oh, how much did I spend? I have no qualms telling you what I spent. I spent $20.87 for 3 yards of fabric with tax. Hey, Remo. I didn't do the birthday draw, and I don't have it because I just got in here. I actually forgot to do October birthdays last month, so I'm going to have to redo that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do it Saturday because we're going to be doing drawing for 4-star general anyway. And so maybe I'll do the birthdays on Saturday. I just didn't have time to go get that off my computer. So we will do it, Remo. And happy birthday, Remo. Today is actually her birthday. All right, this next one is from Glenda's Sewing Cupboard. Glenda's Sewing Cupboard. And hey, Erica Taylor. She also gave us a business card, which I thought was really nice. Her thing says, a bed without a quilt is like a sky without stars. So that's her block here. Very unique. And I put that back here under the, trying to put it under my knee lift. All right. And then I had first picked up this pattern. This was another one that was in a neighborhood. It wasn't attached to her house, but she had a whole, it was an old house. And so they had built a new house on the farm. And then she took the old house, leaving up all of those walls. I think she just made entryways so that you can, the house was all through. In most of the rooms, she probably had one bedroom that the walls were not knocked out. And it was a really nice shop, had really great prices. And so, yeah. So when I first went in, I didn't have any fabric. And so I picked up this pattern that was $4.75. And it's called Susie's Sack by This and That. And it's pattern number 238. So I got that. The finished size of this little pouch here that you can make a wristlet, or you can do whatever you want with it. It's 4.5 by 6.5. I thought that was a good size to hold particular sewing notions. And then my friend Kevin found the clearance room. And so we both go in there. Kevin found this piece of fabric that we both like. It was a lot of it on the boat. And so we actually split this fabric off the boat. And we have an idea what we're going to do with it, but we're not going to share that information because somebody might take our ideas. And let me see if there's anything on the salvage. And it looks bare. There is not one word on the salvage of any of this fabric. However, this fabric is very soft, feels like quilt shop quality. So we bought it. And what did we spend for this? I got, okay, she overcharged me. I think it should have been, I got six yards at $4 per yard. She overcharged me. No, it's supposed to be $6 at $3 a yard. It was $3 a yard and $3.50 a yard, and she charged me $4.50. So she had to give me a credit. I had already rung out, and I was like, you know what? I'll just find something in here that I can get. So I'm always looking for good tweezers. I just bought the Bernina tweezers that they say are good, but I'm like, if you can find one good one, you can always use two, right? So I haven't bought the second Bernina. So these are crushed. No, but let me make sure because it's got a label over it. I don't know if that's an R or something else. CF. So C, Fusamat. No, it's just Fusamat. It was part of the F. So it's just Fusamat. That's an F at the beginning, just a fancy F. Fusamat for applique. And it's just tweezers that are by Sharon Bradley. So instead of her giving me a a discount. This was $8. We figured out $8 for the tweezers were a good deal. So I ended up getting these tweezers, and I did test them on her fat quarters trying to pick up stuff, and they actually did pretty good. So I was like, okay, we're going to see if this will work. So I just pulled that off. Sometimes you just need some tweezers that can catch something that's very narrow. So this is something that I bought as a test. And then I was almost done until I looked up on the wall and saw this barn panel. And that was probably the only thing that I paid for a regular price. It was $13.55. Total I spent at this store was $48.21. So let's just get that out the way. And then it had this really pretty barn scene. And I thought it would be great for the center. I do have some charity quilts that I have in mind, and this is one of them. And so I have some ideas. I got a kit for a charity quilt, and I thought I needed two because I have two people that I wanted to do a charity quilt for. And I was so happy to see this, and then I can still just do even something simple as squares or just regular borders. It doesn't have to be fancy with the inside being so pretty. But that's why I bought that. And I can put this back in there. And this. So I bought 4 things. 1, 2, 3. I guess I bought 4 things because she owed me a refund from that store. And again, that was Glenda's Sewing Center. Next stuff I'm pulling up, not necessarily in order. And I have no idea who this, oh, it's in the book. Okay. All right. So I got this ticket in here, so I'm assuming all of this go together. We're at Pansies Patch. It's what's on this receipt. Let's see if I can find her. Yes, it's in here. So Pansies Patch Quilt Studio. They on your receipt sometimes you can't see all the information, and or it doesn't fit in the printer to print all their information. She is in Albany, Missouri. Express your soul, one patch at a time. So this is the block here. Pansy Patch. They also, let's see. Put this under there just to hold it. Okay, it says I got a Dream Blue, 2 of them that cost $25. So I'm going to assume that this is 2 yards of fabric here. Yep. That's 2 yards of fabric. So this is Dream Blue. I'm going to put it up closer. You all can see it right there. But it's got like little hidden flowers in here. And I just thought it was really pretty, the coloring. I just really liked it. I had not seen anything like this. Pansies in Albany. I can't even remember her shop right now. But if I bought this stuff out of here, I do know what shop this is. I adored this shop. I wanted to stay at this shop. And the owner also designs patterns. And had everything in here was a piece of fabric that I would buy. Nothing in there was something that I would not buy. This lady had a great eye for color. She was one of the, it was like toward the end of day 1 and all of day 2, just about every shop we went into, I would wanted to stay there and buy everything. And they even, this lady didn't necessarily have the best prices because she didn't have the best prices, but it was so pretty and they were so friendly that you just wanted to participate. This shop actually had an in-shop employee contest going on where they had quilts that they had hanging, and they were asking all the customers to vote for their favorite. And then I also purchased this yard of fabric here, which was $10.80, I'm thinking, because one was $10.80 and the other was $9. I'm thinking, oh, let me see on this pansy fabric, not the pansy. This is Dream Blue, and it's made by Free Spirit. Walk in the Woods by Katrinka. KATRINKA, and the number is PWKA001, and it's called Cosmic Clover, this particular pattern. So that's what this is. It does have salvage information there. This one here is another one that's really pretty. Let me give you the salvage information on this. It's by Robert Kaufman for Studio K. It's called Nature's Pace, P-A-C-E, Nature's Pace, design number 2032. 2302. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience, by Ralph Emerson. So that's pretty cool. Again, I just was for some reason just loving. She had these that had like the whole line. Am I not talking, Ben? Okay, I thought I heard my husband. I'm like, am I not live? Let me check my mic just in case. Okay. So I just like the fabrics. Like I said, everything in there was something that I would buy, and I just was buying it because I liked it. Also because I wanted to support them. Beautiful fabrics. And then this one here, I think, was the one that was $9. Yeah, this one was $10.80, and this one was $9. Yep. All right. Again, I like black prints with lots of color, and so that's why I got this print. And my phone is not open. I lost my chat, y'all. Okay, thanks, Kevin. This fabric does not have a name on it, which I am so surprised. It has a color grid on it, but no salvage information. Ain't that weird? So I can't help you. But this fabric is really pretty, and I'm just going to put it up close. Again, I like this one because it was freestyle, oval, circles, diamonds. I just like it because it was freestyle. Most of the time you see them, they are stars or swirls, circles and dots. And this one I just really like because it was just like if I was trying to hand practice my quilting on a piece of paper, this is what my quilting would look like. So that's why I bought that one. Hey, Sharon Lewis. Anybody that I missed, I'm so sorry. Put your name back down. Maybe I'll see it next time. Oh, I got this book here I got to do next. The yellow looks like ducks. Oh, she's talking about the yellow swirls when they were on top of each other. I see what she's saying. This next one is from Crossroads Quilting in Cameron, Missouri. My soul is fed with needle and thread. My soul is fed with needle and thread. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I told you I spent 40. No, that's Glenda's. At this shop, I don't know what happened to my receipt here. Hold on. I don't know what happened to the total. So $25. I had the receipt just a minute ago. It might have blown in the wind. $25 for the bottom fabric, $9, and then $10.80. So 25, 35, 45. So just say $47 I spent by the time you add tax, something like that. This one just says thank you receipt, $8.47. And I don't know what that's for. Okay, so we're going to do this one right here. This is Crossroads. And let me make sure that Crossroads is in this magazine before I tell you that they are. Yes, so Crossroads Quilting. So I was only going to get a pattern. I didn't really like a whole lot of the fabrics in the store, so I just went around and started looking at patterns, just trying to be supportive of the store. And I actually purchased, this goes with this. This is Crossroads, because I purchased this pattern that's called Trellis just to purchase something. It was $10 right here, and it's by Cluck Cluck Sew. So I have already done the Brightly pattern by Cluck Cluck Sew. I have another pattern by Cluck Cluck Sew. So I figured she was a good designer to go get a pattern from if I'm just spending money to support a shop. And then I had this $2 a pattern called Notches, which is the Villa Rose design. So that's pretty cool. And I'm not going to show the back of it because all the instructions are there, but that's it. $2 pattern. So I had checked out and spent $13.20. That's why I have another receipt, was because I then saw that they had a quilt sampler book that I didn't have. I don't really buy quilt samplers. I used to buy them all the time. And then, but I do like to have them if it's a local store or a store that I like and been in. I like this store. She had a lot of quilt works, kits, and patterns. I'm just not in the mood right now to purchase that, so I didn't want to purchase that. That's what I loved in her store. She had a lot of bright fabrics in the front store. She had reproductions in 30s and florals in the back, that Liberty of London type fabrics as well. So then when she told me she was in a quilt sampler, I went ahead and bought the magazine. The magazine with tax was $8.74. So that's why I had 2 receipts and was looking all confused because I checked out twice. I paid with a credit card one time, and then I paid cash just so she wouldn't have to run that back through her credit card machine again. So that's that. Next bag here. I'm going to start closing this up because we don't want to have an avalanche in here. So that's why I put the black bag down on the bottom. All right. I'm taking out of one bag and putting in another. This next shop is Cuts and Bolts Fabric in Chillicothe, Missouri. It's bigger than it looks. Is her block. Put that back here. Get that out the way early. And then I have the receipt here. This store ended up spending $17.28. Okay. So I bought these 2 pieces here. 1 yard each. The orchid was $8.50. I don't know. This is 2 yards. I don't know if it was $4.25 a yard, but I spent $8. Let me make sure. No. Yeah, I spent $8.50. So this fabric must have been $4.25 a yard. And it's Viola by Chongawang from Timeless Treasures. I got a lot of her black and white prints. And it's weird how I walk up to some, and again, I'm buying that purplish color because I bought something else that I'm hoping some of this will work with. So I got that. This piece here is, it doesn't even have information on there, but it was $7.50 a yard, and it is 1 yard, I think. It's wrapped up, so it was like a pre-wrapped bundle. And I just like the different textures of the blue. I'm going to stay back here so you can see all the textures of the blue in here. Turn it to the other side. And it is called Watercolor by Moda. And it's pattern number 26116. And that's all that's on here. So I got that piece too. They had some pre-cut bundles that were like marked down if you bought the pre-cut, not pre-cut yard, not bundles. But if you bought a pre-cut yard, it was a little cheaper. And this piece here was a gift. Andover. This fabric is by Andover. It's called Bel Air by Lauren Marcella. It's a 2014, so it's an old one. Deco stripe, pattern number 7685. So I doubt if you find this, it was on a sale rack probably, and that's probably why it was done. And Yeah. So I doubt if this one's going to be available anyway. And again, I'm just putting this bag in here. I don't need to put it back in there. All right. This is still day one, guys. Okay. And my phone, I'm just losing my phone. I need to figure out how to increase my screensaver time, especially for lives. Hey, Claudette Bettis. I like that watercolor, nice blue. Yes. On our route, also Missouri Star is part of the all Missouri All State Sew Along. Hi, Joanne Parker. And Kevin and I, we just went there in June, and we was like, we ain't buying nothing. And so we go in there. I can't remember if Kevin found a piece of fabric on the clearance. I don't know if that's what I don't know, but he was getting a piece of fabric that was on the clearance or something like that, and we were checking out. And then lo and behold, I'm about to walk out the store and not spend a dime, right? And yeah, I found their deal of the day. So Missouri Star Quilt Company say friends are like quilts. They never lose their warmth. So this is their block here. Got the Missouri Star circle logo on there as well. And the deal of the day, guys, I spot this halfway across the room when I saw that it was the deal of the day. And I'm going to put it back in this bag because it's got those pinked edges. Anytime they pink the fabric, it sprays everywhere. But they had a Free Spirit Tula. What's the name of this one? Tula Tiny Coordinates and True Colors. And so they had this jelly roll for the deal of the day on Monday. Okay, so it's got tiny little dots. I'll bring it in so you can see the dots. And the deal of the day for this was $23.77. So that was 40% or so off the regular price of the jelly roll. So of course I got it. Kevin was trying to be strong, but he couldn't. After I picked it up, he was like, I better get it too. So we ended up spending money anyway. Hey, Sue GSD. Yes, that was a great deal of the day. I jumped on that. Next bundle. This is the one, and I can see now that the stuff that I've already previously bought is not going to go with this. Because I didn't even take this stuff out the car. We went to a store called the Salty Hippo, and she had in the book for Monday. So that's why we put her on Monday, so we wouldn't have to backtrack to her on Tuesday, that she would do appointments. And so we called her, and she was working that day, but she couldn't do appointments. And so I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just tell her that I want, I said, can you just mail me? And I saw on her Facebook that she had fabric that had the Missouri outline on it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get it in there, but let me try a different one, because I bought 3 fat quarters from her. But y'all hold on when you hear the price of these fat quarters. And I want y'all to really look at that. So I bought this one that's they're all pushed in, they're all bunched in. And then this one right here, they're a little bit more spacey. And so again, small business. She had a quilt section. What she does is she screen prints fabric. So she buys Kona cotton, and these are screen printed fat quarters. So it's just like you buying a t-shirt, because I know about the whole screen printing process from, selling shirts. But so now I understand why her fat quarters are so expensive. So when I was telling her in the thing to just mail me 4 fat quarters, I had no idea that I was going to be spending more than $4 for a fat quarter. However, when I saw what they were and what she was doing, I really like it. And I do understand that it was a lot of work and time for her to do this, let particular sections dry. She's actually painting on fabric, but she's doing it via screen printing. So y'all, this fat quarter was $14.40 each, and I bought 3. So that's all I bought from her. But they're plum. They're not the other color. So here's one of them right here. So these are not going to work together, but that's okay. I still love the fabrics. And that's why I was in no rush. However, I think I still can probably do something with these fabrics anyway, because I'll have a difference in value. So who knows? I still might do something with them, but I'm planning on pulling in a white and a gold accent as well. So I bought 3 of those. I've already shown them to you. I don't see the receipt for this. I could have put it in my purse. But just say 15 times 3 is 45. They were 20% off, so that's what I paid, 30 something dollars for that. Her block is, and also I was saying, she sells screen printed fabric. She is not a fabric shop. She's making her own fabric and she's selling that. And she had no idea what she was getting into when she decided to go and join this all-state shop hop. Okay, so she wasn't prepared for all these people that were going to be coming into her business. She's worked full-time during the day and having these people make appointments. She had to stop taking appointments. She could only do her regular store hours. So it was a mess for her. And I'm saying that because she says, I'm not messy, I'm creatively organized on her blog. So I thought that was really cute. And I was trying to figure out, why would a quilt shop be called the Salty Hippo? Well, she just sells fabric. She sells other things that were in the store. And since she wasn't open, we really didn't walk around so we could see exactly what it was that she was selling. Yeah. Angela Stringer, Fabric Anonymous, is not calling my name, so it has nothing to do with me. I'm all right over here. I am all right. Read the disclaimer up at the top, ma'am. It was more money than I thought I was going to be spending at her store. But when somebody tells me that they have hand printed over fabric, you go and hand print over some fabric and then think somebody's going to pay you $4 for it. Let me see how that feels on the receiving end. I know this woman worked hard to get these fat quarters screen printed. I don't mind paying for somebody's handcraft. I'm in the same business of making quilts. I want people to pay me a reasonable rate for what I'm doing. So I have no problems doing that. Next shop we went to was Making Quilts. We had missed them before, so we had to double back and get them. It says a person who doesn't make mistakes is unlikely to make anything. I like that. That's cute. So Making Quilts is in Macon, Missouri. And I don't have a receipt here for some reason. So I don't know what I paid for this, but I'm assuming that this came off of a clearance table. Just trying to make sure nothing blew. This is the previous receipt that I lost. If I come across the receipt, it could be in my wallet. I'm not really sure. We'll come back and I'll tell you what I paid for it. This fabric is Forest by Amy Butler from Westminster Fibers, and the number is ORAB014, and it's called Dew. So that's what we have. Hey, Eric Oda. So this one is probably not one of my favorites, but what I thought was this print might look good in bags is what I thought. So that's why I bought this particular print. And again, it was probably on the clearance section because probably again was one of those shops that it wasn't my taste, but I was still just trying to support the shop. And sometimes when I'm trying to buy patterns, some of their patterns don't even suit my taste, because I'll normally just go over, when I don't like any fabrics, I'll go over and just get a pattern. Hey, Francis Jackson. And last store we went to was one of the stores we went to last week, which was Ben Franklin. Since we had to go back to Macon, I went back to Ben Franklin. And while I was there, I had purchased this when I went on a shop hop in Iowa. It's called the Naked Bee, and it's the Orange Blossom Honey Foaming Hand Soap. It costs $11.99, so $12 it costs. I just pulled this out a couple months ago, and I'm still using it in my bathroom. So I decided to go ahead and get another one. I tend to like foaming soap because I think you use less of this than you do of regular hand soap. So that's why I purchased that again. And it doesn't really smell a whole lot like orange, or at least the one that I had in there. So I ended up putting some other scent in it as well. So I'm one of those people, if it's going to have a scent, I want to smell it. So I got some orange flavors, and so I probably put some more orange in there. So I like that. And then while we were in Macon, what do you think this is, guys? I purchased last week, 18 fabrics of skin tones, and 18 fabrics of skin tones. All of them but one was sold in 24 hours. And then when I mentioned I had the one left, it was gone. Well, I've gotten more orders for skin tones, and I went back and I went to, this wasn't I told you there's two Ben Franklins that were owned by the same people. They're in two different counties, and I went to the Macon one. I went to the previous spot the last time. So I'm not going to even go through all of this, but look at another set. They're a little bit different because I'm at a different Ben Franklin, but these are going to be the next grouping for my skin tones. Trying to let you see all of them. Right there is what's missing. So these are my next groupings of skin tones. There are some slight differences in the skin tones. Again, I've been putting skin tones together for people that are doing faces on quilts. Most likely the African Queen quilt. So I am going to be cutting these again. It's going to be 16 of these available for sale. They're going to be about 11 inches by 9 inches. And the price on this is $14 for this plus $6 for shipping. So if you're buying something else, then it can be combined. And for these pieces here, I'm not even going to tell you. It was $7, because this is not really a purchase for me. This is more of a business purchase. And yeah, so we don't even have to worry about the price on these because it was a business purchase. So that's, to me, a different entity. It's not a personal buy. So I got that. $18 more 1 yard cuts. They're all 1 yard cuts of Kona cotton. So they'll be up for sale. And then that's it for that bag. That's day one bag. So if you're only ordering the skin tone, it's $20. You can send it via CashApp or Zelle or Venmo. And then make sure you email me your address if you want to just get it without me waiting around for me to send you an invoice, so you make sure you got it. I'm not going to put this in there because it's too heavy. And I'm just going to toss this one over there and sit this right here. And I've got another empty bag. So this was bag number one that I just emptied. So we'll be filling it next with bag number two. Lena Dean says she too likes foaming soap. Zandra says, love the skin tones. Paula S. just got in tonight. Good evening, tea and friends. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're going to day number 2. This is day 2. I told you we're going to be here longer than an hour. I'm trying. And day 3 was today. And today's shops were okay for me, and I'll explain that too, because they just weren't my fabric type. So this is yesterday's haul. I I should have had something else from here. Okay. Was this the fabric chick? Yeah, this was the fabric chick, but let me make sure. I can always look at the table of contents for quilt shops included. Yes, the fabric chick in Parksville, Missouri. So I got there. They were also featured, and this quilt was hanging where you check out. And I remembered this quilt from her having it up there before. So it was really nice to see it on the cover of the Better Homes and Gardens magazine. Fabric Chick, when I had my very first retreat in 2018, they were one of the shops that we went to on the shop hop. We didn't even know about this lady. She had just recently opened, and we were at Angela's shop, the Midnight Quilter. I think that's, no, she calls it something else. I'm sorry, I can't think of her name, her shop, but y'all know Angela Waters, her shop. It's in Missouri as well. So we were at her shop, and the workers there told us about this new shop opening. And so we then went to her shop. We skipped some other shops that we had to go to her shop and got there. And she was a very interesting woman to talk to. In the video, she had just opened up. She talked a little bit about her company in my 2018 retreat video. And then she was leasing space across she was in like a shopping center, but she was leasing space across the plaza, across the parking lot, to have like sew-ins and stuff for people. And I really wish that we could have used it, but her area does not have a major hotel, so we had no way of using her facility. But she now has the people that were next door to her moved out, and so now she's moved that sewing center next door to the Fabric Chick, so it makes it a little bit more convenient for them to get in and out of it. So I thought that was really cool. So I was going in there. Let me show you the block, because I wanted to see the owner and talk to her. Unfortunately, it was her day off. She's when you're a shop owner, I think everybody deserves a day off, and it just happened to be her day off that we were going in there, so she wasn't in the shop. So I was a little disappointed about that. I wasn't going to see her, talk to her, and but her workers in there were great. And she says, "I like big boats, and I cannot lie." I like this one. And I wasn't gonna buy a whole lot. I was looking for a magnetic seam guide, so I bought this Bowland. It was $5.99 for this, so I bought that. I have on my Bernina. No matter how much I measure and mark and put down when I go to sew my seams on that Bernina, it's not a 1/4 inch seam. It's my old Bernina, not this one, the one that I bought, the Bernina. I forgot what the number is, 803 or something like that. I can't remember. But I got an old Bernina that I bought via the marketplace. And no matter what I try to do, I cannot figure out what a 1/4 inch seam is on it. I've moved. It's got a knob where you can move the foot and all of that. I've done all of that, and it still ain't working. So I'm going to try this magnetic guide. And then I also purchased this pattern. It's called Nightingale. And I thought it was really pretty. It's got the plus in the middle, or cross, however you want to look at it. And it was again $12.99, and it's by the Fabric Chick. Well, that's their thing. That's not who it's by. It's by Lo and Behold Stitchery. Sorry, right there on the bottom, Lo and Behold Stitchery, Nightingale. And so I bought this pattern just so that I could support her store, of course. And then she was telling me that the person who was checking me out told me about them being in the magazine. So I was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "How much is the magazine?" She say, $2. I was like, "Well, give me that." So I bought one old magazine at regular price, and then they had their magazine discounted all the way down to $2. So I was really grateful that they had it marked down so low. So $2 is definitely worth getting somebody's magazine, especially of a business that you really admire. I appreciate this woman's business savvy. She knows what she wants, and she knows how to go and get it. Okay. So then we went to another store. Kevin must have done the shopping in here, because I don't think I have anything from this store. It's called Stash Worthy Fabrics. There's fabric and then there's stash worthy fabric. That's cute. And I can't remember this shop right now. I have to go look, and we took a picture outside all of them, so I'd have to go look at the picture and see what it was. But sometimes, you know, places have, I want to say, where was she at? She was in Kansas City, Missouri. This is the one that I actually bought this lady a cup of coffee from. They had a coffee cafe across the street. And I felt so bad that I didn't like it. A lot of the fabrics were like Liberty of London style. And that's just not my feel. I have a lot of floral prints, and I don't want to buy a whole lot more floral prints because I got so many. And so I didn't want to buy fabrics. And I told her I'm gonna, she had mentioned when we first came in, and she had Kevin's shirt had something with coffee on it, and she mentioned that she could sure use a cup of coffee. So and we were joking because we knew it was on his shirt. And so we walked around a little bit. Kevin found some stuff that he liked. He's buying, he bought, I'm not going to tell you what he bought because we're going to do Kevin's haul on Saturday. So he got his stuff. And so I hadn't bought anything, and I said, ma'am, I said, I try to support every shop. I don't mind going across the street and getting you a cup of coffee. I said, tell me what you want and how you want it so I get it right. I don't want to just go over there and just randomly buy you a cup of coffee and then you not like it. And so she was still adamant about giving me the money for it and all that. I'm like, no, we're not taking any money. It's a gift. And, you know, sometimes when you have store owners and they're the only ones in there working, it's nice for people to be able to go across the street or down the block, a couple of buildings, to get them a sandwich or drink, you know, something that they need to just keep them in it was getting toward the end of day. And so, you know, if she just needed a cup of coffee, it's like, I just decided I would go buy her a cup of coffee, and I felt like I was still supporting that company. So it was no problem to buy her. She got the pumpkin pie latte, and she put a cream on top, the cream filling on top. I just don't, I'm a coffee, I drink decaffeinated regular coffee, and that's it. And I don't like all iced coffee. I don't like all that fancy stuff, so it's just not for me. But I just wanted to support her, and she was really appreciative of people doing that. So it was really, really nice. And the funny thing is, Stashworthy is in Parksville. Yeah, because she's right down the street from the Fabric Chick. So we went to another shop. I have to find receipts and stuff in here. All right. This was another one that was a great one to go to if you all have never been to By the Yard. And I'm thinking I wasn't going to really enjoy this because I'm thinking it's mostly probably going to be something like backings or something like that. It was in Rayville, Missouri. Trying to think, where was she located? Her building on the outside was very deceiving. It was in the country. I think it was a freestanding quilt shop. It wasn't attached to a house, but the building on the outside didn't look anything like what it was when you walked on the inside. It was a beautiful place. It's called, she said, sometimes I can't sleep because I'm too busy thinking about quilting by the yard. So this is what she has. And I also ordered a kit from her, again, trying to support this small business. Sometimes, you know, just talking to your customers, if you are a shop owner, you know, they'll spend some money. So I don't even need this kit. Don't necessarily like the kit, but I like the Missouri map down here that's made out of fabric pieces right here. So I have to go and download this pattern in order to do that. But she's going to blow up the pattern and send it to me with the fabrics and kits. And it was a $75 kit. Again, I bought it because she was a nice customer. Also, she was reading my shirt, and I might end up going back through there to do some teaching, either lectures or workshops, because sometimes she coordinates retreats. So I might go back down there and do that. And so I had already had some stuff I was going to buy, but when she started talking about her thing and she was so proud of it, I just went ahead and bought it. And again, really nice owner. She had a really nice employee. And then they had a clearance section. I think this fabric was like $6 and some change. Let me see. Put this back here. My stack back here is growing. Let's see. This is 4 yards on this black, and it was $6.30. Now, normally, I told you all, when I see black print with color, it's normally dots, circles, spirals, stars. These were triangles, and I'll tell you who the manufacturer is in a second. But they were triangles. I had never seen that. If you all seen it, that's pretty cool. But you know how different shops buy different things. And so I hadn't seen this in anybody's shop. And I see the name there, but it's running off the salvage. So let me go somewhere else. This fabric is called Pow Wow Wow by Sue Marsh. And it's done by RJR Fabrics in 2017. Again, this was on the clearance. And it's called Quilt with Love. And I just thought it was pretty cool. So I got it because I'm always collecting these type things, because sometimes I use them for background, accent piecing, for sashing, anything like that. So I tend to buy stuff when I see it, especially when it's on sale. I put one of those blocks in the bag with fabric. Okay, thank you. Who was that that's keeping me straight? Linda Denton. Thank you. And then, so that one was on sale. And then I found another sale one. I have one fabric that has eyeglasses on it. I had bought it by the boat, and I had sold the majority of it, but I did keep a couple yards for myself. So I found this one over there that was really bright. And it's $7 a yard. Again, it was on the clearance where everything was $7 or less. And these are generous yard cuts that they gave. And so this is the fabric. I'm just showing it to you. I know the glasses are sideways, but you get to see more of it that way. And then I will tell you who it's from. And if they got a year on here, I'll let you know that too. Like, again, these are clearance fabrics, so they could be gone. But I've told you how to go to quiltshops.com and search for fabric if you're looking for older fabric sometimes. And you put in the name information or numbers, and then it'll pull those things up for you. So it was made by Moda Fabrics, Sanibel by Gina Martin. And this is pattern number 10032. All right. So that's this one. And I'm going to show you her store bag. Her store bag is even cute. Now, this store, she also designs a lot of patterns. She had a lot of her own pattern designs in her store. And so some of them were really, really pretty. A lot of samplers, which is some of my favorites. I love sampler quilts. And I'm not worried about this because we're going to be wrapping all this fabric. But she had a really nice bag, too. So she spent money for her bag as well. She's got like the Born quilt type thing on her bag. The wind keeps blowing the bag. I mean, my fan. Talking about the wind. The fan keeps blowing this. But that's that at her store. I spent $114.94. Next bag. We're still on day number 2. Hi, Diane 57. Linda says she's always putting things in the wrong place and can't find it. She's throwing shades over here at the debt-free quilter. This next one is another one of my stores. I could have just stayed in there. Okay, see the bag? Now I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Okay, Sisters Fabric Farm, and it's on the farm. Says just out farting around. Fabric acquisition road trip. That's what she means by farting. So that was cute. All right. We talked to the owner in there, and I think the other owner was two people on it. It's called Sisters Farm because it was her and her sister, but her sister ended up selling out to her business partner. I don't think she was really into quilting and she just wanted out. And they're only open one day a week unless you call them to make arrangements. And I can't tell you what day of the week it is. So I made sure that I got a business card and put it in my bag. Because if I'm ever out that way again, and she was in, hold on, I didn't tell you that. Lathrop, Missouri, Lathrop. And yeah, she says you can call. She lives, I don't know if she lives in part of it or if she lives across the street or something, but she's right there living by it. So she says she can easily come over if you calling. If you're on a retreat, they have retreat centers in some of these places. And so if you're ever around in the area, just call her and she'll let you come in. What I like about this shop is I went in and they got fabric for everyone. Now, everybody on this shop hop should have been able to buy a piece of fabric from this company. They had fabric from regular price on the shelves from $4.99 all the way up to $13.99. Okay. But every time I liked something that was $13.99 or double digits 99, I pushed it back. So I had a great time trying to find fabric. So I don't know what piece is what until I get to the big one. So maybe we'll just say that this is the top piece. I paid $7 maybe for this piece. And I'm going to just read. It's from Bennertex. It's style number 6171. Let me see if it's something else down here because I don't see a name. It's Brush Dance by Susan Rooney. And again, it's got that black background. I just love all the colors. And it's basket weaves. Just love it. Black background with bright colors. Another one of my favorite things to buy. This one here, I bought, that was $7. That was 1 yard. I bought 2 yards at $4.99 of this piece and this piece. $4.99 each. Let's see who this fabric is by. It's called Marblehead Butterflies or Free by Roe Greg for Paintbrush Studio. This pattern is 120-1089. And isn't that gorgeous? Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm going to show you some of the back just so you can see some more of that marbling. So about 2 yards of that. So total, that was $10. 2 yards of this one. I'm just going to give you the pattern number because it's exactly the same. I just happened to find it in another color. And I don't see where's the salvage? So I can get that number. This number is 120-1184. And again, I must have been in like teal and blue and green mode. And then purples, of course, I was buying anything purple, seems like. So, yeah, 2 yards of this, again, $10. If you only bought 1 yard at a shop to support a shop, $5 and some change, and you were in and out to support a shop. She says, how do you decide how much fabric to buy when you're out like that? I would normally buy 1 yard if it's like at the $10 mark. You see how when I got the $7 fabric, I only bought 1 yard because now I know that what their store is. I'm trying to save my coins for the cheap stuff. The cheap stuff. And I say cheap lightly because I'm talking about cheap as in how much I'm spending, not cheap as in the fabric quality. Because I'm reading these labels to you. This is name brand fabric. And then I found this one. I think it was in the clearance section. Y'all, I bought 6 yards. Now, you know, if I bought 6 yards, it had to be a good price. Now, I do have some other fabric that I bought some yardage of that wasn't as good a price as this. But 6 yards, y'all, $3 per yard in the clearance section. And she said, how much do you want? They had about 15, it was a 15-yard boat. I'm gonna say it was about 12 of them on there. It took all I had not to tell that woman to give me the whole boat, because I was about to do it. But I had just left another store where I told them to give me the whole boat. So I was trying to be cool, you know. So this fabric was $18 for 6 yards. Let me read the salvage information, then I'll hold it up. It's called Floral Folio, Folio, by Carrie Phillips. It's Clothworks Fabrics, Clothworks Textile. And I'm trying to see if they've got any number. I don't see any numbers on here. Just Floral Folio. That's all that's on here. I don't know what to tell you on this. I'll open it up a little bit so you can see it. And I thought, if nothing else, it would be great on the back of a quilt. So that's why I got 6 yards. I figure sometimes I'm doing charity quilts. You know, this would be a great profit making piece of fabric for me when I'm doing, say, a twin size quilt. I put these 6 yards on there at $18, but I charge them regular price for it. And so I'm kind of making the money in my product that I'm not making on my labor, because we all know, us sewers, we never get paid. We should be getting paid $30, $35, $40 an hour when you add in machine costs, your electricity in your house, any other products that we're using thread. You know, we never get paid what we're really worth when we're making stuff, especially in the quilting field. So if you came in on the shop hop and just got your sticker and block and left, you didn't get anything but your sticker and block. If you came into this particular shop and bought something, they gave you a free fat quarter. And listen to this. They didn't have a special selection of fat quarters that you could get for free. It was, go look around the store and pick a fat quarter of your own choice. That's the kind of customer service I'm talking about. I didn't look long, but I did find this to be pretty. So I ended up getting this fat quarter for free. And I have salvage here, but I bet you it's not going to have any information. It's just all white salvage. So I can't tell you what this fat quarter is. But that was really nice of them to do that. Free fat quarter. Again, I spent $47.76 at that particular shop. And now we're on to day number... We're still on day 2. I don't know. I moved the bag, I guess, because it was so big. I'm moving around it. We're still on day 2. Day 2 was hard. Yesterday was a hard day. This bag here is from the Top Stitch Quilt Shop. Blessed are the children of quilters, for they shall inherit the quilt. That is funny. Again, yesterday was a day it was hard to say no to. I'm hoping I got a receipt in here somewhere. I just saw that and don't see, that was on top, but I don't see the receipt. All right. I walked in. I wasn't going to buy much. I don't have the receipt here. I must have put it in my wallet. I'm going to try to see if I can remember some of these prices. This right here was a regular price. Let me see if it's in my wallet really quick, because I hate to give the wrong price. Hi, Debbie Foster. Just want to make sure I didn't stick it in here, because sometimes they would give me my receipt, like Cameron's machine quilting. So that piece of fabric came from Cameron, was $14.19. That's that receipt. That brown fabric with the oval circles that I said would look great in a bag. Let's see what else I got in here, just in case. This is a food place. Sometimes I would get these things in my wallet and I don't know why. Making quilts. This is where I went last time. No, this was October 10th. That was this one. And nothing to Smithville. Okay, that's food. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally have it in here because I don't see the receipt for this. And it could be mixed in here later, but I don't see it right now. So, okay. I need to take all this out anyway. Put that back here. I've covered up the thing. So I know this fabric here was in the clearance section, $6 a yard. Very pretty. I don't have to open this up. This is by Benartex. It's style number 6172. And let me look on the other side to see if it's got a name. It's called Brush Dance by Susan Rooney. So Brush Dance. That was cute. Also got this in teal. It's style number 6172. And it's still saying Brush Dance. So I just want to make sure that black on teal color. These were a gift. This black here is another Benartex print. Again, you see this theme I have here. Let me show you how pretty this is. It's so pretty. It's even got pastel. This is a pastel colors instead of the more jewel tones that I normally go for. But I liked it because it was different. And it had to be in the clearance section because I got it. And it's called Loop-de-Loop -C, and it's 6235 by Benartex. And the design is Let's Tweet, designed by Greta Lynn. All right, so that's that one. I got 2 yards. Let's make sure. Yeah, 2 yards of that, or whatever they had. I got whatever was on the boat. I don't have my receipt, or I can't see it right here. I don't know what I did with it. It was a lot going on. I don't know if I stuck it in here. All right. This was the first thing I picked up because I thought I wasn't going to buy anything else. Although every piece of fabric in that shop was beautiful. I just said, buy a background, Teajuana. And it had all these colors in it that I really thought would make a nice background. And even cut up, I thought it would still be sufficient because of how the pattern is itself. So I bought that. And then this is a QT Fabrics. Quilting Treasures Fabrics by Debbie Payne, Payne. And that's all it says. It doesn't have any other identifying data. So I can't help you. If you're looking for this, it doesn't even say when it was printed or anything like that. But I thought that this would be a good thing. I bought 3 yards. It was regular price. I'm just going to say this was probably something I paid regular price for, $12 a yard, $36. I really can't say, but that's what I think I paid for that. Then I saw this, and I am not really making Halloween stuff right now, but I bought this one anyway. It's got a purpose. It's got a purpose. So it's this panel right here. And I'm just going to leave this here for just a second. And I'm going to talk about, I'll come back to that panel. I want to get this out the way. And they said make great bias binding with the print. Y'all, this was in the clearance section. And this is, all these colors in here are my colors. Just calling my name. Now, can you imagine what you can do with a piece of fabric like this? If you want to put it on the back of a quilt, you can most definitely put it on the back of a quilt. But it was in the $6 clearance section. I thought you can make quilt blocks with this. You can put this in the middle of a row quilt, horizontal rows or vertical rows. You could also cut this and make blocks. You could also use this as binding. And it could even be great as bias binding, because you'd be wondering, it'll lose the flying geese and you'll be wondering what's going on. And I think it'd be really pretty as bias binding. So yeah, I found this over there, and I told her at first to give me 6 yards. And then as she was rolling it off, I'm like, just give me the whole thing. And it ended up being 11 yards. So I'm going to have this fabric in my stash probably till I die. And I am going to enjoy using this fabric. I'm going to use it in all places where I can. This is gorgeous. And it's mine. And who is it? It is by Northcott. I gotta go further down the boat, y'all. It's called Color Work Concepts, and it's number 20792 by Deborah Edwards. Okay, so yeah, so you might be able to find this. Does it have a year? Let me tell a tale. I don't see a year, so I don't have a clue about a year. But this fabric is beautiful, and I plan to use it in all kinds of ways. All right. I bought this panel because it glows in the dark. And there's a purpose for this panel. And they did have like some coordinating glow in the dark prints, but I was like, you know what? I've done enough. So I had to pay regular price for this panel. I think it was $12. And I don't agree with paying $12 for a partial yard. But, you know, they still charge you per the panel instead of charging you per the yard. They used to charge per the yard for panels. And then if it was only 3/4 of a yard, then you paid 3/4 of, you know, whatever the yardage price was. Now they're just putting prices on panels. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I bought this because, like I said, I have a purpose. Yes. And this was actually the first store, so I went in reverse order all the way on this one. I almost got out of this shop not buying anything, and then the lady still was talking to me. Kevin was already in the car. He had bought a pattern, I think. This is very wrinkled because I had it in my the pocket of my hoodie. And then I went on ahead and bought this shirt that I really don't need, but I thought it's giving me some other ideas on the shirt. So I say, go ahead and pay for the idea, Teajuana. It's Quilter's Boutique, says coffee and quilting. Very wrinkled, but there it is. And Quilter's Boutique is in Rockport, Missouri. This is a United States postal receipt. That's not going to help me. I do know this shirt was $20. And it's called Judy's Fight. And I bought it because I wanted to do something for the store. And then I figured since she had a fight with breast cancer, that it would support her breast cancer project that she's working on. So it says, quilters don't let quilters fight cancer alone on the front. So very simple on the front. And y'all know that one day I plan on making a quilt with bags and stuff like that from all the vendors. So I thought I would be able to put this shirt into that quilt. The back of her shirt with her business information on it. So I'll wear it for a bit, and then when I get tired of wearing it, then I'll go ahead and just send it over to and this is a very wide XL. This is like a 2XL. That's what this looks like, because I wear XLs. This is pretty big, so I'll probably use it as a sleep shirt or something. And then I also am supporting her cancer. I think she donates some of it to the Cancer Society for that. All right, that's day number 2 over. And let me put some of this fabric in this bag if it'll fit, because I got a paper bag coming next. Let me put you back right here. Oh, and then I didn't tell you on this panel, I didn't tell you who it was from. I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did, because I don't remember reading this. It's called Boo by Delphine Cubitt, Cubitt, for Henry Glass and Company. Pattern number 254PG. And like I said, there's a whole line of fabrics for this that are glow in the dark. I just wasn't interested in all of that because I wasn't trying to pay full price for everything, or I already had spent enough money. I don't have the receipt. So 2 times 6 and then 12, and then 6 times 6 times 11 is 66. So 66, 78 plus another 12, 78, that's 90, and then 36. That's what I spent. Okay. You all want to know what I spent? Total it up. I don't care. All right. I'm just using this to put stuff in from my bag today. And like I said, today's bag, I did not spend a large amount of money, but I'm going to start with some good stuff. We were going on our we were going to the last quilt shop, and we saw a sign for Dutch, I can't remember how they said it. Dutch breads were on the sign. So we're figuring if it's saying Dutch bread, they got to have a lot more than Dutch bread. So it was a Amish store that we went to, and we went there because it was like almost 1 o'clock-ish in that area, and we wanted to get something to eat, and we didn't want to eat at a fast food place, but we didn't want anything that we had to sit down and eat either. So we figured that they would have a deli or something in there. If you're selling bread, they most likely will have a deli. So it's called the Dutch Bakery and Buck Food Store, and it was in Tipton, Missouri. And we bought a sandwich, y'all. You can go to Subway all day long and you'll never see a sandwich this big with all the meat. We got the one that had 3 or 4 different meats on the bread, and I could barely get my mouth around it. I'm biting out of one end, it's shooting out the other end. So every time I took a bite from the front, I had to clean up all the sides. And meat was always on the bread. I had so much meat, it was ridiculous. I have never eaten so much meat at one time in my life. But that sandwich was good. All the meat was fresh. They had all of their vegetables that were on it were all so fresh. It was really good. That was one of the best sandwiches I had in a long time. I beat Subway like it was nothing. And then I bought this cinnamon roll. That's $1.59 for this big cinnamon roll. I can't wait to get into this, y'all. I'm going to save it for tomorrow morning maybe, because I'm not even hungry. I haven't eaten anything since lunch. I'm telling you, that sandwich was huge. And for breakfast, I only had water, orange, apple juice, and half a cup of coffee. I didn't eat anything for breakfast. I'm not hungry. That sandwich was huge. And then I bought pure honey. I always try to buy honey whenever I'm at any of the farm stores in Missouri, because I'm trying to get you're supposed to buy honey that's closest to you, but I don't know anybody locally that has it. The people that I know that farm that have honey, their honey is already like accounted for, so I can't get the closest honey to me, but at least I can get Missouri honey. You're supposed to, I like to put this in winter things like teas. If I'm not feeling well in the winter time, then I like to use a honey for to help with that, help me heal. So that's what that is. Not quilting related, but it was so good. I can't wait to eat that cinnamon roll. Hey, Betsy Shirley. Another store we went to. Oh, I meant to tell you that store where I told you I had bought the kit also got this fabric. This fabric, she had it, they had accidentally bought 2 bolts of it, and so they put one into the clearance section, and it had a price of say like $65 for 15 yards, and they had it over there by the $4 a yard fabric, and we said, is it $4 a yard? Because $4 times 15 is only $60, and they had some 65 something. She said, if you buy the whole bowl, we'll give it to you for the $4 a yard. So what did me and my best friend do? Yeah, we bought the whole boat and we split it in half. So this is 7.5 yards of a print that's just the globe. I don't know what they call it. Let me see what they call it because I'm going to make up names for y'all. Passport by Three Sisters for Moda, and the stock number is 3929. And I want to say they also had this in a blue-green color as well. But we thought this could easily be on the back of any quilt. It could be on the back of any of our block swap quilts. It can be on the back of, any of the group projects that we're working on. And it's just different. The different continents are all on here in this fabric. And I'm not going to do any much more with this, but it's all here. And so we got it because, again, this is something that you could put on the front of a quilt. If you need a map of Africa or something, you can just cut that continent out. You can fussy cut and do stuff with it. But I'll probably end up using it on the back of a quilt that's appropriate for this. I could put it on the back of the kit that I just bought that's coming. And the reason why I didn't show you that kit, guys, is because her printer was running behind with getting her the big blowouts. Because she's going to send me the big sheet with it already the size that I need to have, so I don't have to go to the printer myself. So that's coming. So that came from, I forgot the name of the shop, but the one I told you, I can find it out just a minute. It's by the Yard. That was By the Yard. All right. This one here in Herman, Missouri was our last shop today that we went to. Quilting Bee Fabrics. They had some fabrics that I like. They didn't have anything that I seen on a sale. And so I really don't like to spend a regular price for fabrics. I went and looked at patterns. They didn't have any patterns that I like, that I wanted to do. They had a lot of some of Lori Holt's stuff in there. And so I ended up getting just a yard of fabric. It says, just another wine drinker with a quilting problem. Look at that. That is too funny. So that's the block. This fabric was $10.19 a yard. So I was glad that it wasn't at least $13 a yard. And I just got it. Like I said, I was trying to find a piece of fabric that I like. I like the piece of teal. I like the color of the teal, but I didn't like the print on the teal. So I went back and got this one. I kind of like these arrows on here. It says it's a Roman Holiday by Pam Bacco, a Peaceful Design Studio. But this don't look anything like a Christmas print when I got it right here by itself. By Studio Fabrics. Studio E Fabrics, I'm sorry. Studio E Fabrics. And I just like all of the arrows going whichever way. And that's what I thought it was going to be called. But it wasn't. It's called, what was it called again? Roaming Holiday. Which it doesn't look like a holiday print. So it's not going in my Christmas prints. It's going in my red stack. All right, we're getting down to the bottom of the bag, y'all. I'm gonna have to pull this up so I don't have to reach down so far. We went to another shop. I was almost out of there without buying anything, although I did love the fabric in the shop. I just try to, if I'm not using anything, I look for patterns. I couldn't find a pattern that I like. I was looking at fabric. They had some fabrics, but I had bought some fabric already from somewhere else that was even cheaper in price. And so I was not trying to buy fabric. And then I started looking through the panels and I was almost out of there. And then I saw this panel. I saw this part here. So I kind of just opened it up a little bit and saw that. And then I folded it back up and put it up. I said, I don't want to take these people panel apart because I looked in front of me and I didn't see the panel hanging. Well, I turned around and I saw this hanging up on a real tall ceiling. It was a historian house that this quilt shop was in. It was in a neighborhood. I guess I should tell you what it's called. It's called Cormon's Machine Quilting. And so we thought we weren't going to be impressed. We thinking she's just going to have backing fabrics and thread, and that's going to be about it. But she has a whole room of fabric. She has some patterns. She has kits. So she has a lot in there for her name. She probably started as machine quilting. And they did have a long arm quilting machine going as well. And Cormon's is in Sedalia, Missouri. And her weekend forecast says quilting with no chance of house cleaning or cooking. And so this is her block here. And then the thing that caught my eye up on the wall, my mom loves florals. And I thought this panel was so bold and so beautiful. And so I got it. Eventually, I'll make something with it for my mom. Right now, it's just going to go in my panel collection. And I know you can't see it all, but we're working with a small space. But I really, really love this design and the fact that it had the little hummingbirds and everything else. So it was really nice. Now, let me see if I can tell you what this is. And it's copyrighted by William Vander Dason. I'm going to put that up there, by David Textiles. It's a screen print and it doesn't have any more information on it. So I'm going to fold this over so I can hold it up for you guys, because he's got a weird name here. It's just different name. I hope you can see that. If you're interested in trying to track this down, and it is a screen print. And that's what I got from her. And then that was also another shop that we talked about, me coming and doing lecture and things like that. So yeah, I'm getting contacts, but I have no business cards because I'm just on the road having a great time, right? And folks are reading my shirt, asking about what I do, wanting me to come back and do this. What classes do you teach? And I'm going to talk about Hunter's Quilt Mark in a minute. I'll get to them. That's another one that wanted me to come back and teach. But right now we're working on primitive stitches. So, of course, I'm not really interested in primitive stitches just by the name. Kevin figures I'm not going to love primitive stitches. It's in Warrensburg, Missouri, on the farm. Okay, they got goats. And I don't know what other animals they have. But this couple used to have their quilt shop in town, and it is a college town. And so they were saying that they were having like bouts of vandalism, just little things, nothing major like them trying to break in, but they would come in and there'd be trash everywhere, or there would be somebody don't vomit and puke right at their entryway that they're cleaning up. And so that they eventually got tired of that. So what they did was they built on to their house, which it doesn't look like that when you're driving up. So they built to the front of their house. And then in the quilt shop, there's this door that they go home to. It's so funny. But when you walk in, they did a fantastic job of adding this onto their house. We thought they used reclaimed wood. It was wood that they distressed. They did an excellent job with this particular place. And I went in, again, it was primitive. They had like wools. They had a lot of reproductions. They had cross stitching, stuff like that. But I did find a couple of panels that I like, and I got that. This is let me show you their block, because I'm thinking I already had showed it to you. It says, "Life is short, buy the fabric." Okay. And then I needed to tell you that because right here, it says it on this fabric. I think that's what it says. Let me make sure. Yes. And so I bought it because it's on the fabric. I thought that was really pretty. Life is short, buy the fabric. So I thought that was really cool. So I bought 2 of these panels, and this was one of those places. Let me see if I put the receipt. I don't know where the receipt is. Oh, here it is. It's coming out. That this panel was $8 for the panel. That they didn't charge me the full $13 because of the yardage. So I appreciate when a shop prices it accordingly. So I bought 2 of those for $8 each. And then she did have a clearance section. We just didn't like the particular fabrics that were in clearance. And she did warn us that it was all picked over by now. You got to remember, people are going through this stuff. And I'm not going to take this out. But this pattern here is, she says it requires Tri-Rex triangle rulers. And it is, I guess I am going to have to take it out, Vertex. Because the information is covered up. It's called Vertex by Deb Eagers. And Kevin and I both love this. They only had one. We wish they had 2. And you know why we would, buy it, even though we're both going to work on it at the same time? Because it was in the clearance section for $1. And I really like it. But you need the Tri-Rex ruler for this. And I thought that was really, really interesting. So that pattern was a $1 pattern. Okay. We getting there. I'm putting stuff in the wrong bag now. It don't matter which bag, it's all coming out though. Last item. Well, next to the last item. I'll go ahead and do the last item that was in the bag. It's Quilter Station. And Quilter Station is in Lee's Summit, Missouri, called Home of Stitching with the Stars. And so this is that. And we went to Quilter Station. We actually had a Teaquilts meetup for at Quilter Station, and the owner was really nice and let us go into her back area so we could chat. It was right when COVID was kind of not being bad, and then of course it got back bad again, but we all met back there, so that was really great. It was a great experience for me because I got to meet some of mostly Missouri quilters, but we also had a quilter and her daughter come from Kansas and chat with us as well. And Kevin and I both went. We were down there doing something else, and so it was kind of impromptu, but that was really nice. And so I got to meet some quilters there. The reason why I don't have anything is because this shop is mostly reproductions. And they do have a few bright sections or grunge, things like that. But I already have a lot of that kind of stuff. I didn't have anything in there that was just calling me. And Kevin went there so that he could buy fabric. That's one of Kevin's favorite stores. And so I was helping Kevin pick out fabric for his 4-star general. So we finally have fabric for that. And he's going to show you that on Saturday. But since Kevin was spending so much money on the fabric that he was getting for his 4-star general, I felt like that was enough money for both of us to be okay with me not just buying anything just to buy it to support the shop. I felt like we already supported the shop. So the last one that I'm going to talk about here is Hunter's Quilt Mart. And it is in Centerview, Missouri. We went there when we were out that way too. Last time I found out about Hunters. They were the shop that I found out that Benertex had the wide backs in Fossil Fern. So I went there. First thing I saw when I was walking around trying not to see stuff was this Jelly Roll runner, and I don't necessarily need the pattern to do it, but I just decided I picked it up and said, okay, I'll get this, it'll be great. So this was $9.99 for this pattern, and this is the pattern here. I just thought it was beautiful, the colors with the black in the background with all the different colors off the Jelly Roll. So I bought that. Put this back here. I'll be stacking those when I get through. So I bought that. This pattern is by Tiger Lily Press, called Greased Lightning. That's the name of the Jelly Roll runner. Greased Lightning. And then I saw that they had I bought this fabric first. It wasn't in the clearance section. So then when I saw the pattern, then I saw this piece of fabric. It was called Luminous Whirl. It was $10.99 a yard by QT Fabrics. I showed you those other fabrics that are very similar to this. Ocello Mason for QT Fabrics is all that this says. It has nothing else on it. It must be screen printed. It is. It's a screen print. So there is no other identifying information, just Ocello. Let me show it to you since it's spelled a little weird. Right here. I'm hoping you can see that. And that's all that's on here. But I just like this because of the soothing purples again. Again, I'm thinking, I don't know if anything's going to work with the little fabric I got. But if it doesn't, it's a standalone print that I like either way. $10.99 a yard. I bought 1 yard. And then I found some sale fabric they had. Let's see how much sale fabric was. It was $8 a yard. Bought some of this with a purpose as well. And this one I really like the color of. I don't have to open this up because it doesn't go that far. This is enough for you to see. But I liked it because it might be the butterflies. It was like butterflies thrown in here or bows. So I was like, I thought they were butterflies. I think they're butterflies because I see stamens. I don't think they're bows. They're butterflies. But I thought it was really pretty. This red, orangey, yellow gold piece of fabric. I just thought it was pretty colors when I like bold colors. And Motor Fabrics, stock number 48701, called Wildflowers Don't Care Where They Grow. Well, that's what they say in parentheses, and it's got Dolly Parton. So it's called Carolina Lilies by Robin Pickens. Okay, they're putting quotes on fabric now. That's the second one that's had a quote. So yeah, that's this one. I can't see my chat, y'all. I got one more piece to show you, and then I'm done. And then I want to talk about just a little bit about Hunter's store. Again, this fabric was $7.99 a yard. I got 2 yards. I got whatever was on the boat. It was 2 yards. It was a little over 2 yards, a couple inches, something like that. And she just said 2 yards. So this fabric is, I got a purpose for it. Studio RB Studios, Midwest Textiles. I don't know anything about this company. Studio Palettes by Gordon Gate. And it's called Pebbles Yellow. And I'm just gonna show you this. It's kind of a weird print. I normally don't like gray, but I kind of love this gray in the background, but it still reads as a yellow print, and then it's got just little circles of pink. So I thought that was really, really pretty. And then you can see the gridding because it's kind of like a brick wall. And I do have a purpose for that. So I also got that. Now, I don't know if I've told you all that I have met Tula Pink and I have met Jenny Doan. I don't know if I've told you all how I've met them. I probably have told my local friends how I met those 2 ladies. But 10 years ago in 2012, and this lady remembers the year, which is so funny because I didn't even remember the year. She gave me the year. I was hired by So Sweet Quilt Shop in Brunswick, Missouri, and I talked about them last week. And they wanted me to come and do a lecture and do a couple of workshops, and they just said, send us what you have. And it was like it's going to be like 30 days away, and it was going to be at a retreat. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what's going on. This is their first retreat. I didn't even know they were having a retreat, and I'm thinking some instructor must have canceled or something, and they just want me to come. So I get there, and I'm up on Friday night, and I'm like going in there, and I'm trying to, get situated. I had to go to the B&B, check in, and I'm going back to the place to let the lady know I'm there. And I'm supposed to do a lecture Friday night, and then I'm doing 2 classes Saturday, and then Tula's doing 2 classes, and Jenny Doan's doing 2 classes, and people have signed up for the various classes that they want. And I walk into that room, and I got myself set up because I got there before a few of the people. So I got my stuff set up for my lecture. And then I'm sitting there, just talking a little bit to people as they're coming in, whatever, just small talk. And then here comes Tula Pink and Jenny Dawn. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing here? So apparently, this lady put on a workshop, and this was her first retreat, and they built a retreat center where you can sew in, and then people were going to the neighboring towns to go get hotels because they didn't even have sleeping rooms at the time. They do now. But anyway, she wanted, when she had started booking people, they were out of classes, and so she decided, well, maybe she needed to have 3 instructors. So that's why I was brought in last. And what she wanted for her first retreat was she wanted all Missouri teachers and instructors. And so I'm trying to figure out, how did my name get listed with Jenny Dawn and Tula Pink, and then here comes Teajuana. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? And the whole time, once those 2 people walked into there, my whole head got messed up about, oh my God, how am I going to be teaching to these people? This woman here, she designs fabric. This woman here got all kind of videos on YouTube. Everybody knows her. Like, what can I teach these people? And then when I finally got up to stand up, I mean, the whole time I'm sitting until it's time for me to start, this is what's in my head. And then once I stood up on the stage, I was like to myself, these are your quilts. Nobody knows your quilts but you. You just talk about what you do. And so I've always had this as one of my funny jokes about me being a presenter with 2 famous people and them pulling me in. And I'm like, how in the world did these people even get my name? And it was so funny because when I went into Hunter's Mark and I was walking around, Kevin and I, we walk around every shop to see what's going on. We're in every nook and cranny of every shop. And so I finally got my stuff and I had her cutting. And as she was cutting me, she was saying, is your name Teajuana Mahone? I said, yes, it is. And she says, did you by any chance do a retreat in Brunswick? I said, yes, I did. And then she says, you left a lasting impression on me. And that just made my whole day today, because that's one of those things where I never got any feedback from. And I felt so off kilter because I was with 2 famous quilters, and then they had me. And of course my classes were the smallest because they added me because they were full with the other 2 instructors, because my classes weren't scheduled as long as the other one. So I kind of had like the overflow students. And so it was just nice that somebody said that they remembered me, and that what I said and what I did, how I used my scraps, still resonated with them 10 years later. And so that was pretty funny that occurred, because that's always been one of my little funny jokes that I tell like my friends, or if I'm in a real lecture, if something comes up like that, I try to tell people, the joke about that. It doesn't come up like every lecture I do, but it's like if something occurs and it reminds me of that. But my friends all know that happened to me. So when this lady came up and told me that I had a lasting impression on her, and that she still remembered all the, trying to remember all the things that I had said and did from 10 years ago, it just melted my little heart in that store. So that was the best thing that happened to me today, and mostly in a long time. I've got my friend that I appreciate, Mr. Kevin. I got my other friends, my quilting groups that I appreciate. But this one was just something that was totally different, that I was not even expecting. And then those people also are talking about me coming back and maybe doing classes, lectures, and or doing retreats. They schedule retreats and classes and stuff like that. And so it was just amazing. And then the woman really liked me because she was asking me what type of classes I teach. And I mentioned stack and whack. And she said her mom, who's no longer able to teach, was their teacher for stack and whack. So they've lost their stack and whack teachers. So she was really interested in that. So we talked for quite a bit of time with me talking with actual owners of this place. So, you just never know what you're going to walk into. And even when I go in with my business shirt, I never let it stop me from having fun. Because I'm never going to be like a stuck up quilter, but I do know when it's time to go to work. I know how to get serious and get business handled. But it was just ironic that 3 places in this journey was talking about me coming back to do some kind of teaching or something. So um, be nice to shop owners, talk to shop owners. You just never know what's going to come from conversations with these people. They are humans, they have feelings. You know, it kind of hurt their feelings when people walk in and just get their ticket and their little sticker and their block and they walk right back out. They haven't even looked at anything in their shop. They haven't asked them how their day is. So yeah, and even when we talk and we are talking with employees, if they told us that the owner was in the back, we waited and tried, or we'll go to the back where the owner was and just say hi. You have a great shop. We really appreciate it. We love it. Thank you so much. You did a great job designing it, and just give people some compliments, and it just makes them have a great day. Now, I don't know what I spent. If any of y'all kept up with it, I just say I spent we'll just cap it at $1,000. I don't know what I spent. Okay. I don't really calculate. I just get my bill from Discover. I put everything on my Discover, and then Discover gives me points for putting everything on my Discover. And then I pay my Discover bill off every month. I pay even before I get my bills. I have stuff paid. Once it posts, I see what I need to pay Discover. I just go and send them their payments. So I actually make money by putting everything on my Discover, but I never ever intend to ever pay credit card interest in my life again. I had that issue when I was a youngster in college. I don't ever plan to do that ever again. And so um, I do enjoy shop hopping. I do enjoy finding those great finds. I do like going to different quilt shops. It's about, I'm gonna guess and say maybe 8 shops on this shop that I went to that I never knew anything about, that I would love to go back to that place. If I'm ever in that particular side, I know that I can go back and look at a video that I'm going to upload later about the shops, and say whether or not, I like I did with Iowa, where I told you whether I recommend, highly recommend, or not so much. I'll use those criterias as whether or not I would shop there again, because I was pleasantly surprised at the change in Ben Franklin. Benny Franklin fabrics years ago, it was all hard fabrics that were all off-brand fabrics, and now they have quilt shop quality fabrics. So I wasn't expecting to spend any money in Ben Franklin. Not only did I spend money in Ben Franklin, I went back to Ben Franklin again to go back and buy more fabric, because it was there and they had all the skin tones in a row. So yeah, um, it's it's a lot. I know I've just showed you all a lot of stuff. I am not going to pile it up here on this desk. You all seen that I had 3 bags that I put up here. So you all know that I have a lot of stuff. That's not what my haul video is, to show you what I can get and what you can't get. I'm just showing you what I've done. You never know where this stuff, some of it, I like every piece of it. So I bought most of it for me, except for those skin tones. And I got a couple, maybe about 5 pieces that I got something to do with. Um, but you never know if something's going to end up in a door prize. You might receive something as a birthday door prize gift, something like that. You just never know what's going to happen with Teaquilts. I buy it, and then I write this off because I am a business, and then I can also give this back out as door prizes to my Teaquilt scrap quilting club. I also have friends that are quilters. I do YouTube giveaways where I'm just pulling stuff, and I just randomly pull stuff. I don't ever have to go buy things to do a door prize. So you just never know what I'm going to do with this stuff. Uh, do I have anywhere to put it? Absolutely not. But I'm going to figure it out, and then I'm going to get it all wrapped on boards. And then if I decide I want to give it out as door prizes, maybe cut stuff down into fat quarters, then that's what I'll do. So I don't have major goals for a whole lot of it. It's a few of the pieces that I have a goal for that nobody will ever get a piece of. But yeah, I just enjoy finding the great hunt. And at this point in my life, I have done my dues in my life. And I can do this. Years ago, I'd say 20 years ago, when I'm raising my child, I was, paying for my own education, paying for my child's education. No, I couldn't do all of that. But I can do this now. And that's what I enjoy doing. So that's what I do. So I hope that no one is offended by what I've been showing. Again, don't worry about how I'm going to pay for it. It's good and paid for. So that isn't a problem. Again, interest free. So I don't like the comments about, what I should or shouldn't be buying. It's my money. I haven't asked anybody for anything. So, and you will never see Teaquilts on here asking you for anything, especially when you see me doing hauls like this. Just know that I'm okay. So, I just love quilting. And there are times when I put myself on no buy for a year, but I need business write-offs. And that's exactly what this is. If I go buy this and then I do haul videos, I can write that off, because if I'm being charged taxes on the money that I'm making for the video, then the stuff that I'm doing the video with, then it goes into my business. And like I said, I'll be giving some of this stuff out as store prizes and things like that. It might go into customers' quilts, things like that. So again, I already know what I'm going to do with 5 of the pieces already. So Sharon says, T, a great haul, lots of quilting ahead. Yes, ma'am. Lena says, we have to give compliments to the shop owners because they work hard trying to keep the quilt shop open for quilters. Yes. And that's the other thing, they've got extended hours. Like I told you, this one place was only open on Wednesdays, and they're open 5 days. They're open Tuesday through Saturday for this shop hop. So yeah. Thanks, Kevin. He's saying, if you would like skin tone package from Miss T, email her at teaquilts.com. The skin tone package is sold out in 24 hours last time. Order now. So thank you, sir. Yeah, and they did. I was really surprised because I thought I was going to have some extra ones, and that's why I went and bought this. But even right before I was leaving, I was still getting skin tone kit orders, and more were coming in while I was away, and I haven't even responded to any emails. So I'm trying to when I sell something, I'm trying to make sure that I also have some so that I can have it in stock when I can put it on my website. Right now, it's not even on my website because it's not in stock, so I can't put it there. Debt Free Quilter says personal goals. She's got an arrow pointing to herself. She says, I want to be at that point someday. And I'm thinking she was talking about when I was saying that interest free, that I don't pay interest on anything. And I'm an accountant, and interest is an irksome word for me. Once I had issues when I was younger, I decided to go and educate myself. So I went and got my degree is in business administration management with an emphasis in accounting. And so, yeah, I learned a lot about interest rates and things like that, and how they can trick you thinking you're getting something different, and it's how it's calculated. And that's a problem with interest, is how it's calculated, because they can calculate interest a different number of different ways, and you're going to come out with a different bill every time. Okay, so yeah, that is the way to pay off those credit cards. Yep, once they post it to my account, I'm paying for it. I can't stand to even have my account. Like, I know that I've spent $1,000. I don't let $1,000 sit on my card, even if it's not due until next month, because it ain't even hasn't even been posted yet. But when it gets posted in about 4 or 5 days, then guess what? I go in on the next day and I pay it, and it's already paid. But guess what? I get points. I get Discover points for just putting it on my card. Okay, that's how you make money. You make money off the credit card instead of them making money off of you. So Paula S says, go for it, T. You are a great teacher. Yes, I do love teaching. I am kind of getting tired of doing the lectures, because the lectures it takes a lot more work for me to pull quilts out of storage when they're on different topics and all of that. And then quilts sometimes will cross topic, and so they could be in another container set that I got to go through and find it in there. So that's kind of where as I'm getting older, I really don't like doing lectures right now. So that's another thing. But if some of these big shops call me talking about they're going to do it, I wouldn't mind doing it for that. I wouldn't mind doing it for that. But just to go to a guild for an evening thing, and that's it. But if I'm going to go to a shop and I'm going to do a lecture one night, stay the night, and teach a class the next day, then, that's something we can talk about. So, yes. So Rich says, what a nice story, T, meeting famous people. Yes. And I think Jenny and her family knows of me and know me, but it's just funny. that I was just sitting there like that. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, Kevin's so silly. Talking about I had to bow to the scrap queen after that compliment in the shop. He is a mess. And Tracy Middlebrook says, wow, full circle. You are famous too. I'm not as famous as those two ladies, but it was just so funny that I think I had taught in Missouri and probably Kansas at the time when I did that. And then I've since done Illinois and Iowa. So I have been around, the states that kind of surround Missouri. And the reason for that, I get contacts for other areas, but if I can't drive it in within 8 hours or less, then I don't want to go. And I'm not going to be shipping my quilts because I hear too many horror stories about quilter instructors and teachers that ship their stuff and then it never makes it. So I'm not interested in that. So if I can't drive it, then I don't go. I'm going back to the bottom because I'm losing. I know I've missed a lot of comments. So if you want me to read your comments, the last comment I read was Sharon Lewis at the bottom. And then Rich says, I enjoyed everything you have shown. It is always great to appreciate the beautiful fabric and the story that goes with it. Yes. Good night, Vivian. I see people saying good night to her because I went back down. Lena says, you should see my quilt room. Who would ask you how to spend your money? You tell them, T, make them creditors work for you. Right. Rich says, T, you are famous to us. And that's what this is all about, is helping people via YouTube. And that's why I even started my YouTube channel. It was because when I was doing lectures across the state, when I first started, people were asking me all these same questions about sewing machines and all of that, and stack and whack, picking fabrics. And so that's kind of how I started my YouTube. It was just answering questions that I get asked repetitively. And then I would say, I have a video, you can go sit down and watch that. It's got all the details. And so that's kind of how my YouTube channel evolved. Originally, I was on YouTube because I was on here for line dancing. And then I just never changed my name. I just always had it as Teaquilts because that's just what I did. Even though it was line dancing, I still named it Teaquilts for some strange reason. And so once I named it that, I just left everything under one channel at that point. So Paula talking about, believe me, they know you, Jenny, and the crew. Yep, they know me. And I've talked to her son, Andrew, contacted me because when I went to the last retreat at Missouri Star, I had done the video because we stayed in Hamilton and we stayed at a bed and breakfast. They had a quilters thing, retreat building that we stayed in that was across from the bed and breakfast. So we had a place to sew. And so when I did that video, he actually contacted me then to let me know that he saw that video. So that was pretty funny. Good night, Delia. Thank you so much for coming. Miss T, I just sent an email for skin tones and more fat quarters. That is Lena. Now, Lena, I'm going to be cutting more fat quarters, and I'm going to be cutting them from different fabrics. So it's going to be like a week. Because I got to now catch up since I've been gone all week. I haven't done anything, and I still got other meetings I got to do this week. Tomorrow's my only free day, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing like catch up stuff. I already got some things I got to do from just the mail that I got. I got to do mail follow up. So I know I'm going to be behind. So don't expect too much out of me, y'all, this whole weekend. We'll see what I can get done in a short period of time. But we will have sewing. I'll be Teaquilt sewing with Kevin is going to be coming up on Saturday. So you will see that. That's my Saturday thing. And again, I have to drive about an hour and 15 minutes. And it depends on traffic, if it's longer, to and from Kevin's house. So that takes a little time too. So, my schedule is full this week with the shop hop that we did. Sue says, you don't give yourself credit for the lives you have touched. That's from Sue. So thank you. I do. I appreciate you all. And this sometimes, like I told you all, when I have major things going on, I haven't, needed the boost in recent. But it's been times even when I come in here sleepy and I'm like just talking and I'm like, y'all, I'm so tired. And by the end of that live chat with you all, I am animated. I'm back excited. You all motivate me as much as I'm motivating you. So I do appreciate my YouTube listeners as well. So, and I don't think I have anything else for you guys. I'll see you all Saturday for live sewing chat. I guess I'll be working back on those bowls because I do need to get at least a good chunk of bowls sewed so that I can have them for my family for Christmas so that they can just pick what they want. And I guess I'll be sewing on that. Yeah, because I probably won't have time to do anything else with going to Kevin's. I got to figure out what I'm doing for door prize for the main gift for the 4-star general people are now finishing up their quilt tops. So I'm going to be getting those people into the drawings. Anybody that has put their name, their photo in the correct folder, because I don't have time to go looking through posts. I told everybody to put your final quilt photo in this folder that I have. So I know a couple of my friends who are in my sewing group, they finished theirs. So I'll be putting their name in because they are not using Facebook, but they did participate and finish their tops. I've seen them. So, yeah. So it's a lot going on, guys. I got to also do October birthday drawing. So I'll do that also on Saturday. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time. I got in here at 6:15. By the time I unpacked, I had to unpack because I had all of my recording equipment in the car. So I had to unpack everything, and then I'm trying to get stuff in here. I've even got water that I haven't had a swallow of. I tried to make sure I bring water in here, and then I forget to drink it. But I just didn't have time, and I'm opening mail trying so I can know what's going on in my mail that I've missed. I had a backlog of that in my snail mail. I haven't emails. I've just been putting stars on for the most part, and I'll go back through. So just thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all for coming in here to see what I was doing. And I will see you all Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's 2 hours on Saturday nights because I do a live sewing chat. If you all ever have any questions, you can always come in here and ask. You're probably going to get people that are going to ask way before I do because it takes me a while to get through chats because, as you see, I respond to some of the chat comments. But I do give you my opinion. And if I ever miss your comment and I'm already down past it, just put it in there again. I'm not doing it intentionally. And I'll try to help you if I can. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much. You all stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out, everybody.